How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Down the Rabbit Hole. The entire crew is here, and on this episode, we're going to be talking about Fate's Stay Night, Heaven's Feel. This is on Crunchyroll. It is 3 films. I think each film is like 2 hours long, and it's part of the Fate's Stay series. And so, Jack, you suggested it. Go and take it away, man. Tell me how much you like this movie, so that we can argue.
I know. It's opinions may differ for this episode, but I enjoyed the art. The animations in this. The story was a bit weird, especially with this love interest that occurred. But essentially, what they're doing is they're following a mage named Shiro Umaya, and he is dragged into a Holy Grail
Wait,
war.
Did you say Shiromaya or Shiromia?
Shiro Emiya. I don't listen.
Onomatopoeia.
Bro, let him cook. He's trying his best.
What is the cooking?
It's not Lopia.
It's not Lopia, goddammit.
No.
Go on.
But they fight to death between the other mages and their servants. So it starts off like that and then rolls into this romance that he has with Sakura.
Yep, there you go.
But I don't know. It's that part to me was definitely weird. The whole love interest. Outside of that, the fighting animations were actually really good to me. I really enjoyed it.
So Fate's Stay has it's based off visual novels, right? And so there's 3, I think, main films for Fate's Stay Night. So it's like Fate's Stay Night, Fate's Stay Unlimited Blade Works, and then Heaven's Feel. And each novel represents a different path. And I think they go for like the actual ultimate ending for each of them. And like I first like got into Fate's Stay because of Unlimited Blade Works. It's a very convoluted plot line. Like, you can get really confusing when you start getting into like the Holy Grail War. Like, when you watch each movie, essentially Shiro Emiya is the main protagonist throughout the 3, and then it transitions to a new love interest, and then it kind of plays around with like what characters survive what, how the conflicts play out, that type of stuff. Certain relationships differ from one another. Basically, I think what kind of brought it to the mainstream is that this was like Ufotable's first real big project that got them a lot of renown. If you notice, like the fights, the choreography, the effects of everything, like you can definitely see how great it is here, and then like how in like Demon Slayer it became more refined. And I do think like what's found here is like there's some really over the top, really cool shit. With like the different servants and stuff like that, like Saber during this film, like she gets corrupted, right? But in Unlimited Blade Works, she is like the main servant, and she does a lot of crazy work. And then, you know, it can get kind of confusing. I didn't know Heaven's Feel was 3 movies. I thought Heaven's Feel was just like one part, just like Unlimited Blade Works, and we just like kind of went off with these really cool fights, but it just like kept like bringing all these different, you know, themes around. It was really dark most of the time. And I was like, I was wondering if Brad would enjoy it, because like this is like completely devoid of humor at times. Like it gets brutal, and I'm really curious to get to Chibi.
His eyes are like fucking.
I'm really curious to get to Chibi, but I want to get to Brad first. So Brad, like, how did you feel when you watched this 3-parter?
So I thought it was one movie too. And then I watched the first one, and I was like, wait a minute, that just ended. I didn't understand it to begin with. Finished the first movie, didn't understand it even more. Finished the second one, felt a little bit better, and then the third one, I was like, thank God this is over. So it is very well made, very, very high production, there's great animation. The story just, it was all over the place. I'm not gonna get into too much of it, but the fact that they just explain everything at the end, like they're just like, oh, there's this war at the beginning. They're like, there's this war. You're a mage. You have a servant. Fight for the Holy Grail. And then at the end, it's like, no, actually, everyone has a key role in everything, and everyone had their alternative motive in the last 30 minutes of the last movie. I'm like, gee, like, good Lord, like, if any of this was explained in the first half of the first movie, it probably would have just been like, just wouldn't have happened. But, so I will say the first, I didn't like a lot of the story. I didn't like a lot of the dialogue. It was very slow to me. I don't like anytime there was a conversation, it just felt like they were deliberately talking slow. And like it might have just because it was like higher pitched young women. Like I don't know. It just it didn't seem very urgent in any point of the show, just or movies. It just and then when there was a fight scene, so in the first movie, all the fight scenes were just one person kicking another person's ass. There was no like mutual combat. It was just like one person overpowering the other.
Yeah.
And the second movie, it got better. There's a little bit of competition, right? I do think the Saber Berserker fight was probably my favorite out of them all when Berserker was corrupted. Or
Saber
no,
was
sorry.
corrupted.
Yeah,
Saber
Saber
was
was
corrupted,
corrupted.
She absolutely
And then-
nuked Berserker.
Yeah. So
By the way,
I
that was one-sided too. He did not stand a
Yeah.
chance. He got
Well,
killed and
at
then
least
got killed again.
yeah. At least he was like somewhat competitive in that fight.
Yeah.
And so
Well,
like the story pieces and the action kind of meshed together better in the second movie. And then in the third movie, it was like anytime there was a piece of action, they would just stop to go to like a cutscene or like a flashback or something to just have this melodramatic moment in the middle of the fight. And I'm like, please, for the love of God, finish this fight. Or everyone should just die. One or the other. That's just me. But I
By the
liked
way,
a lot of the
when Rin got stabbed in the final fight, I was like, oh, she's dead. So she didn't kill herself, obviously. Sakura stabs her. And I was like, okay, she's dead. I mean, let's commit to that because in Unlimited Blade Works, I think it's Ilya's like the younger sister, like in this movie. She's just like another mage. She gets destroyed in the fight. I can't remember. I think it was like Archer, or Gilgamesh is like supposedly like the actual big bad in Unlimited Blade Works, and he kills Berserker, and then he also just cuts her. I think he executes her as well. I was like, holy shit, this is brutal. And then I was watching this, and I was like, I kind of expected the same thing because that's what I was kind of feeling when I was watching. But when she got stabbed, I was like, all right, so we're committing to her death because she was just kind of there. It's obvious that like this is going to be Sakura and Shiro's story. Let's kind of move on. But I don't disagree with you. I know, like them fighting and then having like a moment. I'm like, dude, I like, especially when Ryder and Saber were fighting, and I'm like, we do not need to hear the exposition on this part. Just fight because it was just amazing. That whole fight was fantastic,
good
by
fight.
the way. Just
One of my
beautifully
favorites.
animated. But when she's like, it's like he's gonna, he's not gonna stop fighting. It's like he's gonna help. It's like, oh, okay. That's kind of the anime trope. One of the anime tropes I hate the most is it's one of the reasons why I have a slight beef with Demon Slayer. Is that they do the same thing when Tanjiro is like in a fight and he like starts explaining himself, like has his inner monologue. I'm like, bro, just fight. Let's not interrupt the good times. You know what I mean? Brett, I was so curious because I remember you told me it was a couple days ago. You're like, yeah, I'd watched the whole thing yet, and then I was like, this man's gonna be mad. He's not gonna have a good time with it.
So I do have one more thing to mention. All right, so is there a sub version of this?
Yeah.
Okay, so I watched the dub. I didn't know Ren's name was Ren because they only call her Tosaka. And every scene she was in and they said her name, it ruined the scene for me because they just call her Toe Sucker. And it's the weirdest thing in the world.
I've said the same shit.
Every scene, like every time they say her name, it just ruined like any kind of
Dude,
suspense.
I
anywhere.
started laughing so hard. I forgot what I was doing. I was like reading something and then I just heard toe sucker. And I started laughing so hard. I'm so glad it's not just me. I really thought I was losing my shit. I was like, what's going on? No, that can't be right, dude. No one would call her toe sucker. Oh, that's great. I love that.
I don't think they ever mention her first name in the entire show, assuming it.
Well, I mean,
the dub.
Japanese
But-
culture is usually like by surname, so it is.
Right.
But but it's probably pronounced better. I'm a huge fan of like Bryce Papenbrook, who voices Shiro. He also does. I think he was also Eren in Attack on Titan. I really enjoy like almost everything he does, but like sometimes when he gets like really emotional, it's so melodramatic that I can't like I can't get into it. It's just it's too much. Brad, I'm glad you shared your opinion. I was always curious. The one person though I'm kind of surprised with when Chibi told me that she was like not feeling it. I'm shocked, Chibi. I thought you'd like it, honestly.
Sorry, Beat like keeps barking, so I might have to like mute myself at some point. Why did you think I would like it? I want to hear your opinion first.
No, like the action was great. Like I thought.
No, I'm okay. I just let me say my piece. Okay, I 100% agree with both Jack and Brad. Like, I thought the art was cool. I really did like the art. I mean, I've some exposure to Fate, not a lot, but like I've seen a lot of the characters. I know their names, from like Mude and stuff.
Right.
But like I understand like the premise and stuff. I liked the fight scenes too. I thought they were really cool. I mean, it was a little bit darker for me, but I mean, overall, I did enjoy it. My issue is that people have always warned me about, and kind of like to your point, Fate. This whole storyline is so convoluted.
Yeah.
I get so irritated once I don't understand something, and like it goes in so many different ways. So like my qualm, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I barely got through the first one. I started the second one. I said I can't do this. So I'm gonna be real with you. I couldn't do it. My thing is like I'm sitting here, I'm watching it. First off, I agree. I can't stand the voices. The dialogue was a little hard for me too. I felt a lot of the conversations. I was like, okay, what's the point of this? Like the first half of the first movie felt like we were watching like a really bad slice of life. I was like, okay, I don't know where this is going, because I knew it was like fighting and there's a lot of stuff like that's intricate. I was like, why is this like a bad love story? I'm so awkward. This whole thing felt so weird with Sakura. Like I don't know. It just felt odd to me. Like it kind of like to Jack's point.
Then it got weirder.
I don't want to even know how it got weirder, because I was already like not with it like this whole time.
She missed the whole.
You missed the whole thing in the second episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
I sure fucking did. I think I watched like 10 minutes of the second episode.
Yeah, you missed a lot.
So I mean, well, I guess we could say.
God, I don't know if I
there's
want to
a
know.
whole scene. I guess she's like possessed, like she has like, this curse on her, and then
I feel like that's fair then.
yeah, they end up having sex basically, which was like. Kind of like a weird moment. It was like so awkward the way it like played itself out. Like she came off as like I'm gonna get confused. Is it Tsundere? Chibi, the one that's like,
yeah.
Tsundere, yeah, where you're like kind of crazy over.
Yeah,
so she gets jealous of Rin.
Yeah, I could
like
tell in the first one.
Her
too.
memories are getting taken over. She feels like Shiro's like getting taken from her. Right? It doesn't feel like I agree with you. It didn't feel natural, like their kind of relationship and stuff like that. And then, yeah, in the second episode or second part, they just like end up doing it, and it's like, all right, that was not weird at all. Like,
so weird with the first episode where he like
these are two fucking teenagers,
and like grabs her titty. I was so confused. Yeah,
it's even worse in the third episode when with her brother.
Oh yeah, where it turns out, yeah. So like he's. This fucking thing, man. So
I hate that guy. That was my least favorite character.
Yeah.
So he was so frustrating in the first episode too.
Yeah, he's a douchebag. But Sakura is essentially like a doll, right? So, and she's probably like I can't remember. She's like their family's like actual true mage and stuff like that. She's like a true inheritor, and yeah. There's a whole scene where he's talking about like how there's a lot of sexual assault like. Stuff that he talks about, things that he did to her, stuff like that. I'm not saying it's like edgy to be edgy, but it's significantly darker than Unlimited Blade Works and Fate Stay. Yeah. Actually, in comparison to to the Fate Stay series, this is probably one of the darker ones, especially when it comes to like the violence, and then it comes to the different themes that it kind of brings up. I was kind of shocked to see it too, because I was like, these are teenagers, right? These are kids like under 18, still in school. Like, what are we doing here? How is this significant to the story? Like, they can't connect other ways, and they can't be in love that way. What's going on? Yeah, so that happened, and then it happened in the third part, and then she ended up killing him. I don't know if it was intentional. I think it was like a reflex, right? Like it was like the whatever she was cursed with took over and then killed him. No, that's the second part. That's the second part. Because then it transitions to the third part, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So that happened right at the end of the second
right at the end, right in the second one. Yeah, I mean, like, out of all the characters that are like Shiro's love interest, I felt like she was kind of the most awkward. Like, even with Saber in the first one was like, kind of more mutual respect between the two, and then eventually he just fell for her. And then with Ren, it was like he just admired her because like she was teaching him how to be a mage, stuff like that. And he ended up falling in love with her. But here it was like the awkward classmate stuff. Like she's like stalking him.
I was gonna say, and I felt like it was very like she was obsessed with him.
Yeah.
And he just kind of was like, okay, like that. I never like those types of tropes at all.
Oh, like he just he just kind of leaned into it, like
yeah, like oh, okay, like somebody likes me, okay, like
she's obsessed with me, bro. She loves me.
Yeah, she loves me. I don't even know who she is, but like,
I never knew you. Oh, you Bryn.
yeah. What's your name again?
Yeah, no, I wasn't. I was kind of like I was curious because when Jack brought up Fate's Day, I was like, okay, so I've seen most of the movies. I know that a lot of them get really dark. I know that I've heard things about Heaven's Feel like a lot of people consider it to be probably the darkest. Some people consider it to be their favorite. But I also think it's probably the most convoluted at times and complex. Like you really have to like pay attention. And if like it doesn't grab you, I think in the first part, you more than likely will not be interested in the second and third. Even though I do agree with everyone that the animation is fantastic. I do think Shiro as a character has always been pretty interesting, right? A guy who like essentially grows to be like this like really great mage, that type of stuff. Always really cool. But like it was also kind of weird because I can't remember the guy's name, Brad, the priest. Damn it. He's the bad guy in like every single Fate's Day almost. But like he just kind of randomly his involvement. I think like if you're a fan and you knew who that character was, you would know that he was going to be like probably the main antagonist or one of the final antagonists. But that doesn't like manifest itself until the third episode because there's a part where they like kind of have like this very tepid like hey, we're gonna like work together and stuff like that to kind of save Sakura and all that stuff like that, and then they end up like trying to kill each other at the end, like, and a really brutal hand-to-hand fight. Yeah, so watching this, like, and Jack, I just want to be clear, dude. First off, I don't think Fate's Day Heavenly's Feel is a bad selection.
Oh,
I actually think it's really good. Yeah. I think it's it's just.
I'm just a hater.
No, you're not a hater. It's just like
he is. She is.
No. I just think that like you're either hooked in the first part or you're not at all. I don't think it wouldn't be any less complex if you followed like Unlimited Blade Works, in which they throw in Gilgamesh. Like Gilgamesh was in this, I think like he gets his leg chopped off, I think part 2 in the alleyway, right, and then gets consumed. So like. And that was kind of weird to me that there was someone more powerful than this character that can manifest weapons from wherever the fuck he wanted. That's like how strong Gilgamesh is. But also this one doesn't have to deal with like this weird thing because in Limited Blade Works, one of the like the weirdest things is that like it turns out that one of the servants is actually Shiro from the future, an alternate timeline, and they fight each other. And I was like, I just want to see people fight, dog. Like. Stop confusing me, bro. Simple mind.
What's interesting that
I don't understand.
Brad and Chevy said they were confused because reading through the forums.
Damn, hold on. Brad, his eyes just shot right back at the camera. Like, who the fuck is you talking to right now?
No, it's reading through the forums. A lot of people say do not start with Heaven's Feel movies because at best you'll walk away confused.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's interesting because, like, they, the Fate's Day series itself is like there's a lot going on because it's based on a visual novel. Like it's like you have to make choices during that time frame, and they just choose like kind of the most, or at least the best path. I think like Fate's Day Night, but would be like the first place you go to. But like still, there's still a lot to digest here, and a lot of it is like Brad put in for the last 30 minutes of Heaven's Feel. There's a lot of exposition dumping, which feels like that should be at the beginning, right? When you're describing what the Holy Grail War is, the importance of like the different families, how everyone plays an individual role. That way you're not kind of piecing together this fucking weird mystery. You know what I mean? And then you start talking about like the curse, like people who are cursed, the different dolls, like your spirit can be put into like a flask or a vial and then revived and stuff like that. It's all really confusing if like you don't ever watch any of them. And even if you watch them, you're probably just like, dude, the fights were cool, man. I don't know what the hell happened.
Yeah, and I agree. Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, Ken, you said you've watched the other ones, Unlimited Blade Works and Fate's Day Night, the first one. Okay, Do they bring up all that context and history during those movies?
I think Unlimited Blade Works tries. I think Fate Stay Night is like legitimately because they made so they had a movie version and then they have like a TV 24 episodes, so they go into greater detail.
Okay.
But they do a kind of a deeper dive, at least more in depth in regard to like what the mages are, what the actual Holy Grail War is, who the different characters who have participated, who have won in the past, like what like they also go into. It also feels like some of the fights that get set up actually kind of feel a little bit more meaningful, a little more depth to them because some of the servants like know each other and they fought each other in the past. Like I don't even think they even talked about who Saber actually was. Like Saber is supposed to be Arthur Pendragon. That's King Arthur. So for the like that's who Saber is. So they represent these like great historical figures fighting in the Holy Grail War. And like the unfortunate part is when you make it into a film is that you have some of these servants that you just kind of unfortunately kill and then you just forget about, which kind of sucks because like there's some characters that like don't survive. Like I don't think Ryder survives in Unlimited Blade Works for long. I think Berserker gets done dirty in like all three. It doesn't even matter. He's one of the coolest looking characters. He just gets fucking destroyed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the one connecting part is really Shiro, and then I have to figure out what that dude's name is. I'm sorry. But he's the damn priest. Not the priest. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, he's the priest. What's his name? Yeah, Kirei. So like Kirei in like every other show is like this assassin, and he's like this really dark, violent figure who is incredibly ruthless. Also, for some reason, the most jacked priest you've ever seen in your life, right? Just murdering people. But that, yeah, it can be fairly convoluted, fairly confusing. And it's like I said, you're either hooked when you first start watching it, and it grabs you. And I think one of the ways they try to do that is by having you photoable animate some of the best fight scenes you've ever seen. Right? Like you're talking just like impact frames when they attack each other, these really cool magical spells, that stuff. I think if that hooks you, then everything else kind of follows. But I've seen people like go like I need to rewatch because I did not understand anything that was going on. Like it just kind of goes to a natural conclusion that like one character is going to fight the other, and then whoever prevails or whatever. And then usually I think Shiro survives, but here he dies and then gets revived randomly. You know what I mean? But yeah, I thought that like I knew Brad wouldn't like it. I was very convinced that Brad would be like the one guy who was like full stop, didn't like it, but he.
So I actually don't think it would have been too bad if it wasn't movies. If it was, because I mean, 3 2-hour movies, which is if you do the math, that's a bunch of hours. Which is like which is like 18 episodes.
Math right there.
And trying to watch it, assuming an episode is 20 minutes, it's like you're watching a season.
Dude. I hate you so much.
trying to watch. So I try to watch an episode a day, or a movie a day, and it was a lot to consume in a 3-day period. If it was 2 seasons, and maybe they even added a little bit to flesh it out, it would have been just more comfortable to watch. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seemed very fast. And
no, I mean, you're right. It would have been, I think it would have been 18 episodes total. I think because it's
right.
2 hours a piece, right?
Yeah.
So you're missing like an additional 6. So if we had like the 24, maybe we would have gotten to that part. I was not surprised. I was kind of surprised that like I thought Chibi would probably. I just thought like with the action, some of the drama in it, like you might be
So
like, oh yeah.
I've come to this conclusion because it does sound like a good plot. Like once we kind of go to the end and talk about it, I think if they would have reorganized it, if they would have put some of those main plot points and explained it in the first movie, it would have been so much better. Like I just don't understand, because like my thing too is like the transition from like that weird slice of life beginning to like, oh, he got attacked, now we're just gonna jump into like all this jargon that is not explained. I was like, hold the front door. Like, what did I miss?
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe if part 1 was just fleshed out a little bit, we skip some of that slice of life stuff that I still don't understand why was in there, and we explain a little bit more of what was going on, I think I really would enjoy it. Like I could see myself, but that kind of irritates me. It waits to the third movie to like really flesh it out and explain it. And I'm like,
What-
I don't
I
understand.
wonder if the
Why
assumption.
can't we have archery practice? Like, what's going on?
Fuck
What
the
do you-
archery practice, bro. Fuck the
That's our-
walking
that-
home.
That's our new archery captain right there. Okay,
You're right. I wonder if the assumption is that those who watch this have probably already watched Unlimited Blade Works or
Fate Stay
Fate
Night,
Stay
yeah.
Night.
I mean that's probably the assumption, but like even then, if you are establishing that these are different,
Like
Oh yeah,
Paths.
plot
absolutely.
lines, yeah, different paths, and
Yeah.
you can still
gotta treat
keep,
it like
yeah,
it.
you can still keep exposition there because you are making changes to the story. I don't
Yeah.
think I think like the added exposition of like the older families and stuff like that. I think that's new. I don't remember that being in the first three. Maybe I wasn't paying attention in Fate Stay Night. Honestly, in Limited Blade Works, I was too busy watching people get cut in half and stuff. But yeah, no, I it's one of those things where like and it's kind of, and Chibi will agree with this. It's kind of like visual novel storytelling, where like you have like a weird mystery setup. You are just confused and potentially overwhelmed with all this information. And then for some reason, in the final act, there's like this mass exposition jump because it's that aha moment, right? You're like, oh my God, this is what's happening. I think that's what they went with here.
I think it was just too much. Like I feel like you have to at least like gradually do it. And I feel like the jump in the first movie was not. Sorry, that Katsu is growling.
I was so confused.
That's
No,
her
I'm
stomach,
kidding.
bro.
No, sorry. I have a dog underneath the table right now staring at me. You cannot see him, and he's growling.
He's
Shush
very
your mouth.
angry.
He's very angry.
I will say something, and I just lost. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, I thought you were gonna go.
I was going to, but then I totally forgot what it was.
I thought
So
it
never
came
mind.
back to you.
Nope. Yeah.
Katsu, shut up. Okay, well now I lost my train of thought.
Yes.
Episodes are so goddamn scuffed sometimes. Oh my God.
We're going down the rabbit hole, bro. That's how it's supposed to be.
So Jack, I mean, like you know, did this make you want to watch? You know, and I also, I this kind of came to mind when you said you couldn't follow Samurai Champloo, and I was like, and you could follow this.
I don't know if it's the art style or not. That made
Ooh,
me
am-
difficult.
Yeah, I see it too.
Am I
What happened?
delayed?
No, Jack, you were delayed a little bit.
Oh, I'm
Oh, I thought it
delayed.
was me, dude.
Yeah, no, you're good now. But
Oh,
yeah, it was
okay.
like, yeah, your camera was going out, and it looked like one of those where like you weren't talking, and then you started talking,
You were,
and your voice
you were
was not
like, you
matching
look
up.
like an old Japanese episode. They try to dub it in English, and you're just like talking. How are you?
Yeah, right.
Um,
I don't know. I don't know what it was with Samurai Champloo.
Just say you don't like good shit, dude. No, I'm messing with you.
But
What the fuck, bro?
I will say that watching Heaven's Feel does make me want to watch the other two to see if I can get a better understanding of
think
everything
you
that's going
should.
on.
It's like I remember seeing a TikTok where a guy he like broke down the actual Fate Stay like timelines, and it was really funny. It was really informative and funny. But he was like when he broke down like Saber and Alter Saber, and they were like, "What do you mean by this, dude?" He's like, "Don't worry." He's like, "I'll explain
What
it."
do
He's like,
you mean?
He's like the Holy Grail War, like Shira Emiya. He's like, yeah, but but they don't love each other here in this universe. They love each other in a different universe. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I think like fans who commit to this like are generally really passionate about it. It's just like one of those things where I think if you're a casual observer, you know, someone watches this, like let's say like someone from GB's group, and they're just like, dude, I'm a huge Fate Stay fan. Like, let me explain like why this is the way it is. But I think like for most people, you just get hooked on the combat because Ufotable, this is what essentially put Ufotable on the map, and then you can see that transition into Demon Slayer. Like when they made Unlimited Blade Works, bro, it was the most mind blowing animation that I'd seen. And then here it's like 3 straight movies of just like brutal fights. You know, people getting their arms cut off, getting decapitated, getting like their head split in half, stuff like that. Like when this like one of the things I really enjoy about Fate Stay is that when it commits to like, you know, something dark, it does not relent, which is something I really like. You know, it's one of those rare animes that like was consistent with it, at least it's not gonna like have this measure where like, oh, someone saves you at the end, except for the Rin part where she like magically survives a knife fight, but we don't see that. Why? Remember that, Brad, where she got stabbed? They're like, Shiro's like, yeah, she's alive. Like, wait, how? You just got here, dude. Like, how do you know?
He saw her flicker her eyelashes a little bit, and he's like, all right, she's cool, she's good to go.
I'll tell you what
Rolling out.
I'll tell you what I really don't like. And I've said this about every Fate Stay. I just don't like their eyes, like at all. It's like soulless. It bothers me so much. I think I know there's like I know the pupils there, but it feels soulless, like the way they look. It's my one biggest gripe, because like the different servants look amazing. Like they all look great. They all have really great abilities. But like when they do like the main characters, I'm like less interested in them. Even though Shiro has like a really broken ability. I also want to bring up something, Brad, and Jack, if you remember, like I think it's like the final. Was it the final episode or the second part where like Sakura says like Shiro, she knew that Shiro was like the strongest or something like that because he just never gives up. I'm like, where have I seen this before? Like, how many anime do they have to keep bringing up where the random guy just like ends up being the toughest?
Well, okay, so this was something that puzzled me in this show. All of the attention were on the servants as far as combat goes. Like, the mages have some ability to do something, but it's like they never show it at all until the very end. Right, there was a little bit of like a mage showdown there at the end, but
that is consistent. Like usually they're just like really powerful magic users. Like they're not. I mean, because when you're fighting the servants, remember they're all like mythological heroes. Like you should not stand a chance, except for like I said, in Unlimited Blade Works, Shiro turns out to be a reincarnation of Archer, and he has like this really busted ability to kind of like just kind of pull weapons out when he wants to. And so he's able to kind of one-on-one some of the servants. But yeah, no, it is one of those things where it's like Pokemon, but with, you know, violent criminals who just kind of show up and beat the shit out of each other. But Jack, this was, you know, I'm glad you enjoyed it, right? I kind of knew this would be up your alley because, you know, you like this type of dark stuff, right?
Yeah, I tend to gravitate towards that.
The darkness called to me.
I can just imagine Jack with like, you know, the hair around one of his eyes. He's like, yeah.
One day for Halloween, I'm just gonna go emo.
Jack,
please, I need a little
Jack was sitting there watching like the melodrama between Sakura and her brother, and he was like, I was emo once. I felt something once.
Yeah, I was watching the part where the like city blacked out and a bunch of people disappeared.
Yeah.
And then
super cool scene.
Yeah, and then they did the back alley thing with Sakura, and she killed
Gilgamesh.
Yeah, Gilgamesh. So I don't know. At that scene, I was like, yeah, this is a Jack show. Like, I don't know. There was just something about. I was like, this is a Jack. This is a Jack moment. I feel it.
He would love that. Gilgamesh like corners her while she's like all bloody. He cuts her he chops her up a little bit. She cuts his leg off and then consumes him. And I was like, but the moment that happened, I was like, holy shit! Like Gilgamesh is dead. Like that was a cool wrench. That was a cool turn for me. But yeah, the entire time I was like, yeah, this is the Jack show. Jack's in the corner hyping up, like, the bad guy's gonna win, right? Like,
must save Sakura.
I need to play My Chemical Romance right now.
The Black Parade.
Yeah, the Black Parade. Blast that on Spotify right now. Yeah, so if you're interested in you know watching the rest of them, I recommend it. I think they do have the movie on Crunchyroll for Unlimited Blade Works, but I also think they have the 24 episodes.
Okay.
And I think Fate Stay might, but you also have like the other Fate Stays too. So a couple of them are a little lighter, and they deal with like they kind of really dig into like the ancient aspect, and their fighting is really cool. But you still get like the Holy Grail War. It's just like in a different setting.
Well, I think the next ones I'll watch is definitely the Fate Stay Night, and then Unlimited Blade Works, and then Fate Zero, which is apparently 10 years before the events of Fate Stay Night.
Yeah. So that one you get to learn more about the priest Kirei. Okay. So and you also get to learn more. I think it's Shiro's father. I don't know the continuation. But you get to learn about him because he talks about him a lot during the film. Like he's like, I want to be like my dad. He was a hero, that type of stuff. Yeah, you get to meet him and see who he was. And he's pretty much like Kirei, but like with a conscience, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. He's just a vicious bastard too. It's like I said, if you like melodramatic, dark combat, like this is essentially where you want to be. That's essentially Fate Stay in a nutshell. Like you're gonna get like a lot of like complex themes thrown at you, which I appreciate because like a lot of anime don't ever try to push forward that. But you're also gonna get like a lot of like convoluted storytelling, a lot of exposition dumps in places where you think that maybe we could just be a little more natural. Once again, I'm like a huge proponent for if you're gonna like tell a story, let's make the conversations organic. Let's do it in the context of like the actual scenes that we're in, and let's do what Brad got annoyed with. Let's not have a really cool fight scene and then have everything stop to like talk about stuff. Like let's not do that. Like we don't need to have that conversation. You know what I mean? But that's Fate Stay in a nutshell. It's a very stylish show, right? But it's also,
Aniplex.
Yeah, they're Aniplex. There are a lot of people who like love this. What's up?
I just thought of a show for my next one. And because Brad literally did the Aniplex, and I used to do it every time I watch the show. I go Aniplex. Okay, sorry.
I mean, we're about to probably just dive into like the next show if you guys want. But yeah, Jack. It was really funny because in my like when we first announced this, I was like, man, I think Brad's gonna give him some shit for this.
I didn't get too much shit.
I think Brad.
Like,
I think Brad's gonna. I
think he toned it down a bit.
You think you made a good? You think you suggested a good anime?
Why do you keep suggesting shit, Jack?
It's not bad. It's really not bad. It's just definitely
of course the titty gets grabbed. It's a Jack anime.
I'm just saying, when that happened, I said, we're back at it again.
Yeah. Somehow Jack fucking picked an anime. He's like, I just looked at the cover and there's just titties, bro. Like, what's wrong?
Yeah, right.
Why can't we like what I like, Dad? Chibi, what is the show that you want to bring up?
Well, two things. One, I still vote we should do an episode on Spy Family, the movie. Okay, it's on Crunchyroll.
Oh, it's actually out now.
It's actually on Crunchyroll.
Is it
I forgot
season 2?
Honestly, it's one where it doesn't really like fall into sequence. It's kind of like a freestanding, like you don't even really need, you just need to know the general premise of the show and you'll be fine. Because has everybody here watched at least like a couple episodes? No.
Nope.
I thought we watched.
Right.
Oh, I don't think we ever did an episode on Spy Family.
All right,
No,
are
we
we gonna do
have
Spy Family? Are we
Yeah,
gonna
we
do
do Spy
Spy Family?
Family.
We can do Spy Family. I was gonna say
not.
Durarara.
We need a. You want to do Wow, dude. That's a good fucking anime. That's a good.
Isn't
right
it?
there.
He triggered me. He triggered me when he said Aniplex.
That's
all I used to do.
That's like what the kids say. It's a mythical pull, right? That's something I have not heard in a long time. I love.
Thank you. I can pull them out of my ass sometimes.
Yeah.
I was at work.
You know what,
yesterday.
Chibi? I may give you shit for video games, but I will not give you shit for anime. Okay.
Thank you. I have to be good at something.
You're not Jack.
Hey, yo, hold on. Hey, listen, I'm on Jack's side. I don't know where you're going with that.
All right.
But yeah, no, I think that should be on the list. I mean, it could be my next choice. I'm fine with that or Spy Family, like, because I do think Spy Family is really good.
Who is next?
We do need to understand the general plot to watch the movie.
Who is it? Brad?
I don't know who's next. We need to have like maybe it's my turn.
Who's also touching their fucking mic to make that noise? There's like a lot of bump. Is it you, Brad?
No, I know.
Chibi, is that you? I think so. When you're moving around, I think it's like hitting.
No, it's sorry. I'm hitting this. It's broken.
Maybe I don't know.
You're ruining it.
Is it you or Brad?
Oh, is it you?
Remember.
My turn? I don't know. Is it your turn? I don't know. It's been so long.
Let's rock, paper, scissors for it.
I don't think it's mine because I recommended Windbreaker.
Yeah,
that's
so
right.
it's definitely my turn.
recent. Yeah.
So we don't get to watch whatever that stupid show you wrote.
Oh my god!
Damn.
You know what, Brad? Whenever you
All right, any
ask, like,
hoosies.
why does Chibi hate me? I don't think you
Damn.
need to answer that fucking question, my man.
Hey, I'm just trying to make it a reality, okay?
Oh my god! All right, Brad. What do
It
you
will
wanna
take a
watch
lot.
next,
It will
man?
take a lot.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
because I do want to watch Lazarus. I think it's episode 9, so there's 3 episodes left. So by the time we get to me, after we do our Pixelate Thoughts stuff, like we will eventually get to watch Lazarus. And Jack has no choice but to watch it, not complain. I don't know what they're doing.
Hey, I do my best to watch them.
Jack, you will have a good time, I think, with the animation stuff, and this one's really fun.
No, that sounds good.
Brad, do you have anything? You have like 100. You have 100 anime on some list somewhere.
I do actually.
And while he's thinking, has anyone watched anything recently? Jack, besides
Take that back. I have. Okay.
Man,
first, it was when I was sick. Right. I watched most of season 2 of Apothecary Diaries. Love it.
Yeah.
So great.
Yeah. That's a really good fucking show, dude.
It is. I fucking love Mao Mao. I love the type of shows that like a mystery, and I don't see that a lot in animes, and it all connects.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, what?
No, what else?
Oh, there is one. It was one that I have to pull up Crunchyroll. I watched the first episode because apparently it's really popular. I did not know how I felt about it. It was a little bit weird. Like the animation was different. Fuck, what is it called? So it's this season airing or last season.
New?
Yes. Oh. Hold on. I think it's on the most popular. Oh my god, what the heck is it called?
Well, if it don't got like titties in it, like Jack's not watching.
Okay, you might know. So the whole premise is like this guy. He's like kind of like a marketer, and the guy that like the superhero he's marketing for that he thought was like fake or something, I don't know, kills himself.
Oh no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's based off of a manhwa. Yeah.
Yes, the animation's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called.
It's like My Hero something X.
Something.
Like that.
Yeah, My Hero X something. I watched like the first episode and I was like, I don't know if I like this. But somebody told me to give it another shot.
Yeah, the second episode, like it actually has a decent story. Like the first.
I liked the idea. I just thought the first episode went so fast.
No, it's a very fast paced anime.
Yeah, I was like,
very surprising because there was a lot of hype on it. There's a lot of TikTok came from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought it was interesting because like the second episode kind of clears up stuff that happened in the first where people.
Oh, okay. Like, maybe I just needed to keep watching.
Yeah, he's essentially like a guy who markets for superheroes. Here's the premise of it, Jack. Like, and I think you like it too. He markets for superheroes. He ends up being the #1 guy, and then the #1 superhero then goes to kill himself. And so, in response, because he's the last person to see it.
Oh, we have to say unalive.
Jimmy, we don't get that many views, dude. Like, YouTube, like, what the fuck? Like,
we have to say unalive. Okay, sorry.
Anyway, so the actual firm, I think they're like an entire superhero firm. They see this, and the head of it sees it, and so they like kidnap him, threaten him, and
he looks very identical.
And then they go, okay, look, we're gonna make you into this person, and he has to assume the role. It's actually really cool from like the first part of it. He actually fights like his arch nemesis, who knows from the start that that's not the actual superhero.
Yeah,
which I loved, which I thought was really.
I did too. I thought it was really cool.
Really good.
And then last one I watched. I will never recommend this, but it is such a guilty pleasure of mine that I really like. It's actually like a Chinese light novel, I think, or a Chinese anime.
That was One Piece. No.
Anyway, oh my god, it's like an esports anime where they like King's Avatar. I love the King's Avatar. I maybe you can watch it one day, kind of tell me what you think, but I unironically really like it, and it made me read the light novel.
It's an esport anime?
It's like kind of, yeah, because they do like it's esports. Basically.
Oh yeah, so like the character becomes the manager of an internet cafe and reinvents himself to return to online glory.
Yeah, I think. It's really
we went from being isekai to playing to watching a guy become an esport man.
It's great. I fucking love it though. I love it.
We have finally jumped the shark.
But that's what I've been watching.
I'll take a look at it.
The art changes every season is my qualm.
Oh, Brad, anything? What do you got for me? What do you got for me?
All right, so we're gonna go in the complete opposite direction of whatever Jack picked.
We watched the anime. Like,
Oh yeah, I
What is
forgot. Fate Stay. My bad. Sorry, I forgot what it was.
is
My bad.
up with this
Sorry.
dude?
I've watched.
He's coming for everyone, bro. It's not even just me today.
I have watched over 6 hours of this in the last 3 days. So, Fate Stay, because there's 3 movies. They're 2
I
hours long,
understand.
so it's 6 hours.
What's the next
Oh my
one?
god, you did the
okay.
math this time.
Can
You
we
did the math.
can we jump? Listen. I'm glad that the Alabama math eventually worked itself out, but please give me the anime, sir.
Hey, I almost took calculus. Okay, so listen here, buddy.
Yeah, he almost took algebra too.
I almost passed geometry.
I only got intro to algebra, and I was very confused.
Hey, I did the geometry a little bit.
Geometries.
All right, so I'm
I
gonna go
know
in the
my
opposite.
damn shapes.
I'm gonna go in the opposite direction, and
Okay.
I'm gonna pick Handyman Saito in Another World.
Oh, that's a good choice.
It is a good
very-
one.
It's fair and
And
funny.
it's-
Yeah.
It's hilarious, and
I already hate it.
I've already watched. I've only watched like half of it. I'm probably gonna just start over.
The fucking beef is real. I love that. No, I agree. That's a good pick. Good pick. I think you know, I mean, Jack might not like
I
it.
see one titty in there.
Jack might like if there's some titties.
Don't worry, I
see
will
one
bring
titty grab in there or a panty shot.
we'll
we're
bring the
done.
mood back down when it comes to my turn.
I need fan service. If I don't have fan service, what's the point of living?
There is a little bit in there.
Living there.
It's sprinkled. It's sprinkled in.
I feel like every comedy isekai has like a little bit of fan service just kind of thrown in, and then sometimes it's just like funny. It's not Konosuba levels. Like Konosuba is like essentially just a fan service isekai, but I fucking love it because of the writing. You know what I do want to talk about? And I like Solo Leveling winning fucking anime of the year. Now, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something. I actually don't mind that as much as like me fucking hating the fact that Ninja Kamui won original anime of the year. I'm gonna say something right now. This is the reason why I fucking hate fan voted like contests and stuff like that and award shows. Because Ninja Kamui had a great first episode. It fell off a cliff after like episode 3. It went in a completely different direction. The quality wasn't as good. It went from like this really cool ninja thriller anime, which, you know, something that I was like deeply invested in, and then it became like a mecha ninja anime, and that shit was just not good in the slightest. And so when it got voted in for best original, I was like, we've lost the plot here. And then I saw the complaints from other people about Solo Leveling, right? Compared to Freerin, compared to Apothecary Diaries, Dan to Dan, all that stuff. I get it, that's fine. Solo Leveling, wildly popular. But the moment it like wins an award in the same contest or same award show as like Ninja Kamui, we've lost the plot completely. Like I completely Is that Katsu again barking?
Nope, that's Bean.
That's Bean. Bean is
They've
deeply
changed
concerned.
places.
He's like, mother, food.
No, basically,
why have you
like
forsaken
his
me?
father is in a league game, so they're defaulting to me.
He's like, mother, the time.
He's
I'm
like,
hungry.
mother, my tummy, it growled a little bit, please.
We're on a schedule, and you've you've betrayed me. But I saw the reactions to the Crunchyroll awards, and I just started laughing because people were just like trolling and trashing Solo Leveling. But I'm like, dude, it's fine. But like, did it deserve Anime of the Year over Freerin?
Absolutely.
No. Did it deserve like
Listen, even I say it didn't.
Did Oh Boy deserve best character over like Mao Mao and Freerin?
Let's be real, Mao
Fuck
Mao
no.
got shafted.
Mao Mao is like one of the best characters in anime right now. She's fantastic. Great character, up and down. But yeah, I thought that was hilarious. I think One Piece didn't win for like best continuation. It was really bad. It was not a
Who rigged the votes? Who let the 14-year-olds vote?
I mean, you know, like people say that media literacy is dead, right? People like completely miss the boat when they're watching something, right? So there's that. But yeah, I watched it. I thought it was really funny. I was like, holy shit, this is not going well because like, you know, you have Dungeon that should have won a bunch of stuff, like, but it was rough. And by the way, Delicious in Dungeon is coming back for its final arc in a couple months, I think. So I'm super excited about that. and then Dan's back this month, alongside
Chainsaw Man and Kaiju number 8 are coming back.
Is Chainsaw Man coming? I think it's a movie though,
Movie,
right?
It's a movie.
yeah, it's a movie.
Yeah, where is it? It's I think that comes out August,
July or August.
Yeah,
Same
and
as
then,
Kaiju.
So, yeah, I think I thought Kaiju was
Kaiju's
this
next
month, or
month.
maybe it's next month.
Mhm.
I'm excited for that. I've seen people. It's weird because like the Kaiju number 8 like fan base, they're not particularly excited about like the most recent arc because they feel like it's getting kind of repetitive. But I'm like, it's a monster show. Like I don't know what depth you wanted outside of like Kafka being the middle-aged monster guy. Like, so I don't know what they want. I know Free Reign comes back next year, but like, yeah, no, like I'm super excited about like the new Chainsaw Man stuff. I was kind of concerned though because like they could have just made another 12 episode arc and finished up the first part of Chainsaw Man. I don't know how that's gonna work from here on out. Yes, Brad, you have your finger up, sir. How can I help you?
Going
Is
back
this a
to
Zoom meeting? Is this what this is?
going
the
back to the
hand raise.
Oh, it was a polite. Hey, excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Going back to the awards. Really, the only award that actually matters is the fact that Mashal won comedy. So, I think
Good.
it's all right in the world. So,
Cream puffs, baby. Dude, like I've seen people talk shit about Mashal too. Sometimes we're like, it's like a one note thing. I'm like, yeah, but it's hilarious that like the
It's good. Like it's unironically good.
yeah,
the second season was a little
Even
rough
Wintergreens.
compared to the first, but
kind of yeah.
yeah.
But like the fact that it
it's solid.
commits to like one of the funniest, like it's just I love Mashal so much as a character because he just like commits to the bit the entire time. Right, he calls characters out on their bullshit all the time, right? Because they're weird and stuff, without actually acknowledging he's weird. It's always funny. Gets into a bunch of ludicrous situations and then somehow just comes out better in the end. But yeah.
You were asking about what we were watching.
Yeah.
I haven't yet, but I want to watch.
Hold on, Jack. I asked you what you're watching, not what you're going to watch.
You know
is
what?
up with
Here's
this
what
dude,
I'm
bro?
going to watch because I haven't watched anything else. I haven't had the time. But what I'm going to watch is
Sorry, you were
Gundam
bowling,
Witch
Jack.
of Mercury.
Yes.
Rurouni Kenshin. I want to watch that.
So it's really funny. I think I brought up Gundam Witch of Mercury like a year ago. I talked about it.
Mhm.
And I think I was like mentioning it to Chibi mostly because, you know, it's people saw it. They saw like a young protagonist and they thought like, oh, it's not going to be, it's like a Gundam for kids or Gundam for teens. No, it is not, bro. That is a dark, fucked up Gundam. Like when it starts to get to like hitting its plot points. I'm curious, Jack, when you watch it, let me know what you think of the ending.
Okay.
Because it has like I think some people have said it's a kind of a dissatisfying conclusion.
Okay.
I really liked it though. I thought it was actually, it kind of made the most sense. What was the other one you mentioned besides Gundam?
Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah, I think they just did the Kyoto arc.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's gonna have, because there's 3 seasons. I think. Did we watch the movies? Did we talk about?
We didn't talk about the movies. I don't think so.
Man. So the Rurouni Kenshin has like live action films.
Yeah, they're really good.
They're fucking awesome, dude.
I'll watch them again.
I will too. Once we get to that point. Damn, Jack, you made it sound like a threat.
Maybe watch it.
I'll fucking watch them again.
I'm gonna watch them again. I don't care what anyone says. No, like I mean, I think they've done a really good job with the updated version of it. I think like one of the issues I think with the original was that it wasn't as violent as the OVA that kind of spawned Rurouni Kenshin. It was called Samurai X, and Samurai X was really bloody and violent, and a lot of people didn't like the fact that Rurouni Kenshin was like not tame or timid, but it was like a little bit less on the violence, more on philosophy. But they did a good job balancing out, I think, in this new iteration. Brad, do you have something else to say? You like leaned in. No?
Oh no. I was fixing my headphones.
Of course you were. Anything else? Anybody else watch anything else? Anything new? I'll be watching like I said, I've been watching Lazarus. I really like it's it's weird because it's literally like peak Shinichiro Watanabe. Like it has great music. It has kind of like this disconnected vibe in terms of the episodes. Like there's clearly like a sense of urgency. Like they have to find this like this kind of needle in the haystack type of story. Like you're kind of, you know, you really have to fit this needle inside this like real small pinhole, right? And so they're just kind of like, it feels disconnected at times, but it's been really, really good. And that episode that recently just came out, like I said, Jack, I'll send you the clip. I'll try to find the clip of it.
Yeah.
I'll give you, because you have Max, right? I think, or HBO Max.
I think so.
On it.
If
Yeah.
not, I can get it.
Yeah, it's like episode. So I'll tell you, it's like episode 9 at the 18-minute 20 mark. You get to see like the scene, dude. I watched it and I was like, I have to rewatch this. Like, that was the most mind blowing shit I've ever seen. Like, holy crap! Because it's like the first episode. Like, it's like,
yeah,
like most time it's like just really cool parkour animation, some cool fights, nothing like too surprising. It's also like the most Western based, I think, show he's made. Because I think it's set in New York and stuff like that, and in the U.S. So that was really cool. But yeah, I just wanted to bring up like, you know, some of the Crunchyroll stuff and see what everybody else was watching.
I did watch some things that weren't anime.
Bro, what'd you watch, man?
Smile 2 and the Puff Kipsy tapes, which is like
Bro,
a found
fuck
footage.
Smile 2.
Yeah.
That is such a good movie.
It's
That is
good.
such a good movie, but it hurt me.
What's her name? I can't remember the actress's name. I
don't
really like her.
remember.
She gave an insanely committed performance. I thought she was fantastic.
Mhm.
Very, very. I think one of my favorite things is that the opening section is a oneer. You guys know what that means? Like a oneer. It's pretty much where they shoot something continuously.
Oh.
Like, yeah,
Right,
they
when-
don't stop.
When he's like walking, he's like stalking that one guy to kill him. Goes through, sees the person on fire, just like fuck it, keep it moving.
Yeah,
That was
no,
my
that's so
favorite
true.
part. I laughed so hard. I shouldn't have laughed when I watched it. I was like, that's fucking hilarious. He's like, nope, keep it moving. Goes through into the house. Was it shoots? Like I think
Was that the husband or
like-
boyfriend of the lady that died in the first one?
Yeah, right? I can't. It's
No,
been a while.
Is
he was
that
the cop.
what was his role? Oh, he was the cop.
so?
Yeah,
So-
he was like, well, he was her ex-boyfriend, but the cop that was helping her investigate everything.
Oh.
Yeah, at the end of the first movie, like when she dies, when she kills herself, she
Yeah.
transfers the demon to him.
To him.
Or
Yeah,
curse
so
to him.
he's trying to like find somebody bad to pass it off to.
Yeah.
Which is like, I love. It's like, you know, It Follows, obviously, but
I love It Follows.
great movie.
That is one of my
Follows, yeah.
favorite movies, I think.
Brad, do you
Oh.
watch horror films, by the way?
Oh, we gotta make him watch the ST Demons, bro. ST
Yes,
Demons.
ST Demons.
ST Demons.
So, like, did anyone watch? Did you watch the new
You-
Final Destination movie?
You're talking, but we don't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me.
No,
Oh,
no,
I
not
can hear
you.
you.
To Brad.
No, it was me.
Brett.
Yep,
Oh,
I was
I
muted.
He's over there.
I was muted. I can watch horror movies. They do not.
They don't scare
like-
you. I'm assuming.
They don't tickle my fancy. It's just it comes back to the idea.
Why
of,
did you laugh, Jack? That's a Southern phrase, bro. Okay. They don't tickle my fancy, friends.
So it's a
Oh yeah, I didn't even think twice about it. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing.
so it's a thing. You know, I enjoy comedies because it makes me feel good. Horror movies just don't make me feel good. They either make me feel bad or they don't make me feel at all.
But what about Tucker
And,
and Dale versus Evil? That
was-
makes me-
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
That movie
that's a
is
comedy.
amazing, dude.
That's not a horror movie.
well, sure. If you're gonna see it, you're gonna hate
Or is
the
it The
craziest
Cabin on
thing.
the Left?
These kids killed themselves on our
kids keep
property.
killing
What's the other
got
comedy?
a
Was it
suicide
the
pact.
last or the Cabin on the
Cabin-
Left? Something
Cabin
like
in
that.
the Woods?
Cabin in the Woods. That's what it is.
Yeah, I love that movie, dude. I'm a massive fan of that film.
That
really
one
funny.
was actually pretty good.
It took, I think, like 2 years to get made. It was really funny because it was before Chris Hemsworth became a star,
Mhm.
before he became Thor.
Yeah.
And then after people knew him, it actually elevated the movie to like become like I think it became like a small box office hit because of that. But that scene, dude, when he like gets on the motorcycle and he,
he just
fucking
jumped.
I laughed so fucking hard, dude. I was like, oh my god, man. Yeah, no, but Small too, Chibi, love that.
Yeah, it's
I
really
can't
good.
remember. I don't know why I can't remember her name, but she's amazing.
Here, I'll look it up. I loved the ending. I thought the ending was fantastic.
Oh yeah,
All I
really good.
like it was tripping me because I was like, what's reality? Honestly, Brad, like I know you don't like horror. This one was fucking terrifying, but it is it is a solid movie. The main girl's name is Naomi Scott.
Thank you. She's tremendous. She
Oh yeah, no, she did amazing when she was
did
like
really
pulling
good.
out her
She's
hair. I
Yeah.
had to look away. I could not watch it.
Yeah, I was I was a big fan of the first film too.
Yeah.
Like I like that type of stuff. Like it's cool. Did you guys see that there's a new is it Black Book? Black Phone? What the fuck was
it's
it called?
it's Black Phone.
Black Phone? There's a second one. That shit looks trippy, dude. That shit looks amazing. I was
Is there a trailer out for the second one?
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta watch it. It is. I was so shocked. By the way, like I'm a huge Ethan Hawke fan.
Mhm.
I think everything he does is like tremendous. And I've always wondered what it would be like if he was just a bad guy in a film because he's like unhinged, or he looks unhinged, unfortunately. But yeah, you know what I watched recently, dude? I'm a huge martial arts like movie fan,
Okay.
and there's a movie by Gareth Evans, and he made The Raid and The Raid 2, two of my favorite like martial arts films of all time. And it's called Havoc, so it has like Tom Hardy, it has a couple known actors in it.
Oh, I watched Havoc.
Dude, what the fuck was that film, man? That was the most excessive, over the top movie
It almost
I've ever seen.
Almost made me feel like remember Shoot 'Em Up?
Yes, dude, that's what I kept thinking about the entire time. I kept thinking about Shoot 'Em Up the entire time. Like, why do I have to clip to somebody to kill him?
Yeah.
That's what it was. Brutally violent, dude. Like graphically. And also, have you ever watched it was a Paul Walker film. It's like something like where he's like I have to look it up, but he's like running from like all these different mobsters and stuff like that, and Running
I don't
Scared, I
remember.
think it's called. Yeah, that movie was really, really good, but like it was like just trippy and over the top gratuitous.
Mhm.
Yeah. Havoc felt like an anime film, by the way. Like they just
Yeah,
like
it did.
dropped that they're like, do you guys want to watch a live action anime that has like, you're gonna be confused half the time about why like Tom is getting shot and stabbed and just beating the shit out of everyone? This is the movie, right? My goodness.
Did you? Sorry to
okay.
cut you off. Did you guys see that they are making a Phasmophobia movie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
made
saw
by
that.
Blumhouse.
I like
Yeah.
Blumhouse. I was gonna bring up like we should watch Until Dawn because it's a bad video game
I
adaptation.
I
true,
finally
true, true. I'd
I
be
did watch
down.
that too.
I told Chris this, Jack. I said they did not, if they didn't name it Until Dawn and they didn't base it off the video game and they didn't try to shoe in all these Easter eggs, that would have been a pretty good film.
Yeah, it could have been.
But,
And
like,
I
they kept-
did appreciate that they brought that one person in.
Oh, Peter Stormare?
Yeah.
Love Peter Stormare. Great actor. The issue was that once you found out that it was a death loop, spoilers for everybody, whatever, but once you found out it was a death loop,
Which
There
has
was, like, no
nothing to
horror.
do with the game.
there was like no horror anymore. Like you lose horror, you lose that sustained, feeling of dread and stuff like that. So I was like, so you just made a dark thriller. I get it, but it had like moments
Happy
where it could have
Death
been
Day.
really, really cool. Happy Death Day.
I love that movie too.
What's that slasher film where like it's like Freaky Friday, but Vince Vaughn plays like. It's like I think the people who made Happy Death Day made that film.
Oh, I don't
With
know.
Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, it's fantastic, dude. I love that movie. But yeah, like I watched like Havoc. I watched it when I was on my way to Denver.
Yeah, I forgot I watched that one. Yeah.
But yeah, it was really good. The movie's called Freaky. It's really good. Like if you like horror, if you like fun horror slashers, Freaky's it. What'd you say, Brad? It's like
I was just say, I looked up Havoc, and it reminds me of a movie I do want to watch. Boy Kills World.
Never heard of that.
it's with Daniel Radcliffe, I think, right?
Nope.
No.
It's Bill Skarsgård.
Oh, yeah, right.
Um,
Oh, that's right.
Bill Skarsgård.
Doesn't he have like a talking? He has like somebody
Yeah.
talking in his head.
Bob's Burgers. Bob's
Yeah,
Burgers.
Bob's
is his inner monologue. So he's
Yeah.
he's mute and deaf, and his inner monologue is
Bob's
Bob. What's
Bill
his name?
Skarsgård does some weird shit sometimes, dude.
He does.
He was in Nosferatu, which by the way, that's like the freak off movie, dude. That's
Yeah.
such a
Yeah, it is.
Also,
Yep.
Welcome to Derry. That trailer was fantastic, dude. Really looking forward to that. For some reason, when HBO Max puts out Stephen King adaptations, most of them are pretty good.
Really good.
Most of them are really good, yeah. I still think one of the most underrated shows that I watched in a long time was Castle Rock. It was on Hulu.
I haven't seen
And
that
it was
one.
and pretty much it was based on a bunch of like Stephen King novels. Like it's set like with some of their villains in this town. It's fucking fantastic. Bill Skarsgård plays like a really weird character, and I only think he gets put in those films because he has kind of like a weird face. Unfortunately,
Yeah, that's true.
It's unfortunate because he's such a good actor.
I still want to see his rendition of Crow.
It's not good.
Yeah, I've heard bad things about that.
Absolutely atrocious. But you know what is coming out is and I think this is what we should watch because it's coming out on Hulu, and we'll kind of push that in for Pixelated Thoughts. Is the new Predator animated movie that comes out on Friday, and I'm super excited for that because that looks fantastic, and it could be kind of like a shorter episode where we just talk about it.
That's fine, man.
Yeah, I was like, man, I should make you guys watch. Like, we can watch Street Fighter the anime. I was like, or we can watch a new film. Also, Love, Death, and Robots had their season 3.
Oh, it's so good.
Morning. No, I didn't like the new season, man.
No,
Wasn't like a fan of it. No,
I always love the miniature things.
that was fantastic. The alien invasion
Yeah.
where he destroyed himself. Doc, what the fuck? I was like, that's very accurate. We didn't lose, by the way. The aliens lost with us, so
Yeah.
it's okay. But yeah, we'll do. God, there's a lot of stuff coming out too. Like you have like Switch 2 coming out tomorrow. Me and Brad talked about this. This is something really interesting. Basically, Nintendo is not allowing any reviews until the Switch launches. Which, yeah, so it's coming out Thursday, June 5th, so tomorrow. And I was like, I showed Brad that. Brad's like, Jesus, they're really trying to control the narrative. I don't know, man. I don't think they want anything negative being said about like, you know, the push to $80 games stuff for them. And
yeah.
you know, I do think that like if Nintendo is successful, it's going to set a precedent for price increases in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're looking forward to GTA 6, I promise you, don't be shocked if that's like a $100 game if it does come out, because you're going to get a ton of content. I think they're going to do the same thing they did, Jack, with GTA 5, where they released the campaign and then transitioned into GTA Online like a month later. Yeah. It's also only on console first too, so it will not be on PC. And that I saw Chibi's like turn. I was like, that's what they did with the other GTAs as well. It's always out on console first. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of
RP is going to be real interesting with 6.
I can't wait to see what the modders do. Like you guys are that community is fantastic. I mean, he has a Patreon, right? The guy who like created GTA.
Yeah.
There's rumors coming out that a Red Dead Redemption 2 remaster for like the or at least updated for like next gen consoles coming out. Final Fantasy Tactics is getting a remaster. Thank God. It's coming out September 30th. The Witcher 4 is coming out next year, I think.
We just released a demo about
I missed the state of play.
So the state of play today had like, I mean, the big thing is like fighting game that's made by Arxis Works, the guys who made Dragon Ball Fighter Z and Guilty Gear, and it looks fucking amazing. I think a couple other things. I think Yote goes. I think June 6th is the Summer Games Fest, so we can probably talk about what they do announce and get released over the summer, because it's actually I'm thoroughly convinced that like the summer is like July is like just barren. There's like no games that come out. I think, if I'm right, Brad, there's like nothing that comes out really in July. August is when they start to kind of kick in high gear. But Death Stranding 2 at the end of this month. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, that one's that one's
yeah, dude. You get Norman Reedus again carrying out a baby.
I have to actually play the first one now.
That you should. Absolutely. Everyone here should play Death Stranding so that you can understand why this walking simulator is the most brilliant game I've ever played. Dog, you're delivering packages from point A to point B, but the big thing is the world is connected, right? So basically, there's a multiplayer component in which what you do in the world, like when you create like these high-speed rails and stuff like that, these roads and pathways, they get to be seen in your game from other players and stuff like that. I put a ladder once, right? And it had 1,000 likes because I put a ladder in a certain area. I am a guy. I am a gift to all you people. Thank you. Super excited for that, man. I'm trying to think what else. I want to do a multiplayer game with everyone, but I don't know. Oh wait, we want to do Among Us, didn't we?
Among Us
wanna do,
VR.
They have the newer one where you don't have to be in VR and it still kind of looks the same. I mean, I'd be down to try it in VR. I might get sick, but I could do it.
Yeah, it depends on like how the turning is and stuff like that.
Yeah, I get really
And-
motion sick in VR.
And how in depth like the movement is for like grabbing
Yeah.
stuff. I'm pretty sure it's not, but yeah, that'd be kind of fun. I think it'd be good. A game I was curious to see if everyone would be down to play. Did you guys see that courtroom game?
No.
Where like it's I have to look it up. It's on Steam for like $5.
Oh,
basically you're-
stream
What is it?
stream record or something like that. I have it.
Yeah,
I have
you
it.
have that?
Yeah.
I want to play that, dude.
What is it?
It's pretty much
Basically-
you're in a courtroom and your viewers are people that are coming in to face
Oh
the judge.
no. Okay.
And the AI makes up a story for that viewer,
Oh my God,
and then people get to vote on
stop.
whether or not that person's guilty. But
Wait,
that
that
person
sounds
has
so
to argue
funny.
why they're not guilty.
Yeah, you get to defend yourself. It's really cool looking. I'm excited for.
Oh my God, I would so be down to play that.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun to play.
I'm gonna add this to my list. That's funny. That's a good idea for like a community night.
Mhm, yeah.
I like
That'd be really
that.
fun. All right, that's all I got. Does anyone have anything else? Anybody want to say anything? Last words, last rites. Go watch Spy Family, the movie. It's on
For
Crunchyroll.
the love of God. Yes.
So you're saying it is if I go onto Crunchyroll like 8.
Yeah, let me double check because I'm like 99% sure, but it's always that 1%.
Should I watch a couple episodes of the regular season to
You could,
understand things?
to understand the plot. Yeah, I think you'd like it. Like even though it's very out there and bright and happy and life.
It is there.
Good.
Code White is there. You are correct, JB. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the ad for it.
I love Spy Family. I think it's very funny.
It's good.
Is
It's a
that our
good laugh.
next,
It's a good love. Brad, have you seen it?
Not
I
at
think you would like
comedy.
it.
It's a
I think you
comedy,
would like
Brad,
it a
you'll like
lot.
it.
I've heard
Yeah.
good things about it.
We
feel
have
like
strayed.
I'd like
We have
it.
strayed far enough from like Fate Stay Heaven's Feel. So
That's what this whole
what
podcast
happens.
was about when it was conceived.
Gotta
I thought we were just
correct
talking-
course.
I thought we were just bored talking anime. Chibi. That's why.
No, we go down the rabbit hole of shit somehow. We start with one thing, we end up somewhere else, and we end up back at square one. That's the whole point.
It's true. All right, so that's gonna do it for this episode. Right, I want to thank Jack for suggesting Fate Stay. Or Fate Stay Heaven's Feel. I'm actually glad everyone had
Mhm.
differing opinions this time around. Brad, for the first time, I think honestly just disliked something, but Brad's a trooper because he did actually end up forcing the entire thing. Which, yeah, I give him a ton of credit for it. There's no problem, Chibi. You could have dropped it. I wouldn't have blamed you.
Yeah, I wouldn't
I
have been
tried.
there.
I really did. I really did.
The next episode of Pixelate Thoughts, we're going to do it on the next Predator film that comes out on Friday. So
Can we
pretty
drop that in the
excited.
chat so I remember?
Yeah, I'll put it in. And
Thank you,
then
Chief.
Brad's anime suggestion for Down the Rabbit Hole is
Boo.
Boobs is
Who
right.
said that?
Handyman, the Handyman in Another World, Isekai, whatever. Who gives a shit? So Jack, how about we do the outro, buddy?
All right, thanks everybody for joining. Until next time, we'll see you at Pixelated Thoughts. Take care. Good night. See ya.
Bye, everybody.